What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, Christine with Gauge Girl Training. And today I'm gonna give you guys 5 reasons why it's harder for women to lose weight over 35 years old. And I'm gonna be sharing my journey on the 42 Hard Challenge with Gauge Girl Training, which starts on Monday, April 29th. I am going through this whole challenge and I just wanna walk you guys through some of the challenges that I'm experiencing as a female that is 42 years old. So let's get into it. Welcome to the video. I am preparing for 42 Hard. We're gonna get into it with some meal prep. So I'm gonna show you guys what I got. So we started off with some egg whites, and as you guys saw, I had this stuff delivered because I'm not going to the store. Egg whites. The next thing I picked up was some red bell peppers. This is gonna get sauteed into my food prep. Now, as far as, dang, I asked for a nub of ginger. Like, this is the size of my face. Well, that's what I get when I don't go to the store. Guys, I asked for a nub of ginger. Look how much ginger they gave me. Who need, like, thank you, but like, again, that's what I get. Putting some jalapenos into my food. I need flavor and spice without the calories, and 2 pounds of my grass-fed beef. I always get grass-fed, but you'll see what I'm gonna make with this shortly. I grabbed some more coffee for the Keurig, string beans, chicken thighs, so you can see I have 2 protein sources. The ground turkey is for my dog. He gets meal prepped for also, and I got some jasmine rice. Stay tuned and I'll show you what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna first start with the rice. And I've been doing this thing where instead of cooking my rice in water, I cook my rice in bone broth. And cooking in bone broth allows me to add more protein as opposed to just cooking in water. So I'll show you guys that step first. All right, time to do progress, photos, and measurements. I had a bunch of cheat meals. I had pizza last night, and I'm sick, and I'm on my period. But I'll give you guys the baseline, and I'm gonna do my measurements. I know I'm really bloated, but here we go. I'm going to take the waist measurement. When I do the waist measurement, I don't do the navel, I do the smallest part of my waist. So we're measuring here. And like I said, guys, I am really bloated right now. 29 in the waist. The hips, we're at the widest part of the hips. So make sure you get where it kind of sticks out the most. Oh boy. 40.5 in the hips. 23 in the thighs. 16 inches in the calves. The chest. 36 in the chest. I do it on a flexed bicep. 12.5. So those are my numbers. All right, guys, so first thing I'm gonna meal prep is my rice. One thing that I have been doing new is I've been doing bone broth rice. So instead of preparing my rice in water, I am preparing my rice in bone broth to give me more protein and more flavor. So it's a really simple way to add more to it. The way I've been preparing my rice is in the microwave. I know it's blasphemy for a Filipino to not be using a rice cooker. I haven't used a rice cooker in years. So I took my rice, I put it in a big plastic container. I'm going to rinse the rice. So the process of rinsing the rice, literally, I just fill this thing up with water. And you see how the water up top is cloudy? Pour it off, and then I rinse again. So I'm gonna probably do this at least 3 to 5 times. So I'm using this Trader Joe's beef broth. For every 1 cup of this stuff, I get an extra 10 grams of protein. So I will run the macros for you guys when I'm done of the final rice to show you what my bone broth protein rice macros are. So right now I just have rinsed rice in my container. See, I have my rinsed rice. Just add the whole thing here. My rule of thumb is this. I take my fingers, and as long as it is up to this line on my middle finger, it's enough fluid. I'm gonna microwave this for 25 minutes. All right, so I am meal prepping off of grass-fed beef. I have 2 pounds of it. Each pound I'm gonna make a little bit differently. So first one, I am doing a ginger garlic spicy pepper vibe, and the other one I'm doing my Cuban beef picadillo. So I'm gonna start with the garlic ginger spiciness. I am gonna be chopping up garlic, ginger, the peppers, sauteing and stir frying. All right, so we are browning some ground beef. I'm actually not going to drain the beef. This is 90%. I'm gonna be cooking the garlic and the ginger in like the juices and the fats here. So I'm cooking it on about medium high. Also added peppers and jalapenos to that, but this is my bone broth rice. Portioning that out, I'm doing 4 ounces of this in each of my containers, and I'm going to be eating 2 of these meals per day. In addition to this, I'm also going to be doing a breakfast, scrambled egg whites and rice, and then I'm also going to be doing a post-workout shake and a high protein snack. Now I'm making the Cuban beef picadillo right now. Same concept, but a little bit different. So meaning I'm using garlic jalapeno peppers, but I'm also seasoning it with some cumin and tomato paste. And I'm also going to be topping it off with cilantro, but also adding salt and pepper to taste, just to make sure we get some really good flavor going. But this is really easy. I actually forgot to add the pimiento olives to this. I have them in the fridge. It's part of the recipe, but I left them out. So you can feel free to add those olives. And I only put like a heaping tablespoon of the tomato paste, just because tomato paste has a lot of carbs to it. But when I add tomato paste, I always make sure to add a little bit of water just to help break it down, because it's very thick and concentrated. But this is a very flavorful dish, really simple and easy to make. If you don't like ground beef, you can always add ground chicken or ground turkey. But another winning dish. I've been eating this on repeat for the last 3 weeks, and I just wanted to have 2 different ways to have my beef this upcoming week. So that is what I made. It's simple and I love it, and it's delicious. And then I went nuts with the cilantro here. I went really heavy on it. Now if you want to add some extra zucchini or spinach just to bulk this up, feel free to do so, because that's another way that you can get a lot of volume and some more nutrients with minimal added calories, but very delicious. And here are some of the meals. Right, so this piece of the process, guys, this literally took me 30 minutes. But I do this often where I'll take one protein source and prepare it 2 ways. So here I have the Cuban beef picadillo with my bone broth rice. Here it's got like a garlicky ginger spicy pepper vibe. So I'm gonna put these all in the fridge. All right, so I'm partially using this challenge to get myself in shape to do a fitness photo shoot. As you can see from these clips here, I haven't done a fitness photo shoot since 2016, 8 years ago. 8 years ago. So I was 36? No, 35? 34? Guys, it was a long time ago. And the reality is, as women, our metabolism slows down as we age. I know for a fact that the stuff that I used to do in my 20s and in my early 30s just don't work for me now in my 40s. And as a result, I have to approach my fat loss a little bit differently. I need to make sure that I am getting a ton of protein, and I can't really go on long hiatuses, if that makes sense. If you are the type of person that looks at fat loss as very project oriented, where you're getting ready for a vacation, or you're getting ready for a family reunion, or you're getting ready for a very specific event only, but then most of the time you're kind of lackadaisical about it, that's not effective. It's a lot easier to maintain a healthier weight, even if it's not as lean as you want, than it is to just be going in this back and forth mode. And the reality is, women who end up crash dieting, the older you get and the more you crash diet, the harder you relapse and the harder you rebound. Meaning, when you crash diet, a lot of what you're going to end up losing is going to be muscle. Yes, you'll lose a little bit of fat, but you do end up losing a lot of muscle. But when you rebound, you actually end up gaining more body fat. So you actually, when all said and done, all you do is increase your body fat. If you have had cycles of crashing and burning and crashing and burning and crashing and burning, which so many of us had, all you're doing is increasing your body fat over time. time, therefore making it even harder for you to lose weight. Now, the next thing is we have to remember that women lose muscle mass as we age, and you start losing this muscle mass as early as your 30s. If you're not doing something to maintain that muscle mass, just to maintain it, let alone add to it and grow it, your body composition is going to start changing, and it's going to be very gradually, but you're going to be losing at least a pound of muscle every year from 40 onwards, and it does start a little bit earlier than that. So my point is, ladies, we have to get our asses in the gym. And I know for me, 2016 was a big shift in my business and my personal health journey, because that was the last time I did a fitness photo shoot, but all of my efforts started going more towards business, managing a business, growing a business, content creation. And as a result, my goals personally started to slip. My weight training wasn't as intense as it once was. So how often do we really need to weight train? Reality is, I'd say 4 times a week would be good if you're really trying to see solid progress. What I am going to be doing on this challenge is I am going to go 6 times a week, because I'm looking to maximize my results with regards to building lean muscle mass while dropping body fat at the same time. So that is what I will be doing specifically in this challenge. The next thing is stress. The stress hormone, cortisol, is no joke. When your body is in a state of fight or flight, and I know for myself, these last 6 years have been extremely challenging, especially I'll even just say these last 4 years have been very, very hard. Cortisol spikes your blood sugar. That blood sugar is intended to be used for your brain to function and think critically. But if you're not using that glucose and it's not being burned, and you don't have enough muscle mass on your body to store that extra glucose in the form of glycogen inside the muscles, guess what's going to happen? All of that extra glucose is going to be stored as fat. So my ladies, what I'm here to tell you guys is we have an uphill battle, but that does not mean it's impossible. It means we have to approach it differently. And I'm going to be approaching this challenge with a very strong focus on weight training and nutrition. I will not be drinking at all during this challenge. I will be honest with you guys, on the last challenge, I did drink a little bit. Nothing crazy, but I did drink a little bit, but I'm going to be very, very strict on this one with 0 alcohol. I am going to be aiming for 10,000 steps a day, but the pact I'm making for myself is if I have a day where I'm crazy busy, I am going to prioritize the weights over my steps, because I know myself. I know that if I get bombarded and overwhelmed, I have to force myself to lift, because that's for my body type. Again, I'm a macro type 2, and if you have not learned anything about the macro types, pick up my book. You'll learn all about it there. But I'm going to be walking you guys through my meal prep. I'm going to be using Instacart and just some simple meals that I'm putting together, my current body composition. But guys, wish me luck on this journey. I am really excited to do this challenge. I'm a little nervous because I haven't been vulnerable like this on YouTube in a very long time, but I just want you guys to know that as ladies, we are going to have to prioritize getting those macros dialed in, our training, to really make sure that everything's on point. So what I want you guys to do is please comment questions. Load the comments with your questions of things you want to know, of things you want to see in the following videos in the coming weeks.